Hello everyone and welcome to a really wonderful game. It took place a few hours ago in the FIDE Chess Olympiad. It's round 3. It's Harikrishna versus Dimitrios, Mastrovasilis, board 1, the India A team versus Greece, and it's a game that features a beautiful double bishop sacrifice. Not one like you would imagine for like maybe in a Lasker Bauer game. It's the famous one, of course, everyone knows this, and these gentlemen will not fall for such a trick. But this is one I'm pretty sure you guys haven't seen before, and the first bishop sacrifice, it's a pretty standard one, but the second one, when that gets sacrificed, it's just to win a single square, and that makes all the difference. But not to spoil too much, as it's a very short game. We're gonna get to it like pretty much instantly. Let's check it out. So Harikrishna has the white pieces, and he opens with c4. He goes for the English opening. We have e6, the Agincourt defense, knight to f3, d5, and now pawn to g3, preparing to fianchetto the light square bishop, knight to f6, bishop to g2, and bishop to e7. Transposing to the Neo-Catalan, we have castles by both players, and now pawn to d4, and we are now completely shifted over to the closed Catalan. We have pawn to c6 and knight to c3, knight b to d7, and now the Botvinnik variation, queen to d3. We have b6, preparing to shift the bishop over to a6, as the queen and the rook are on this diagonal, so could be very good for black. Pawn to b3, and now a5. We have pawn to e4, striking in the center, and bishop to a6. Now we have pawn to e5, attacking the knight, knight to e8, and now the position has been reached before, interestingly, in 2014 between Vladimir Kramnik and Baramiche, and that game ended in a draw. But in that game, Kramnik played pawn to h4 right away. But here Harikrishna shows that he has improved upon Kramnik's game, and he plays pawn to a4. Interestingly, pawn to a4 is the engine's top recommendation, and pawn to h4, depending on the engine, is maybe the second or third recommendation. So definitely an improvement by Hari here. And of course, it is now, as of move 12, that we have a completely new game. So let's see how Mastrovasilis continues. We have knight to c7. He wants to play b5, so rook to b8 will come, then b5, and he wants to make this diagonal come alive. So here, rook to d1, getting the rook away from this diagonal and also putting it on the d file, h6, and now pawn to h4. We have rook to b8, again preparing that b5 push, and bishop to f4, developing the bishop, connecting the rooks, and now it is black to play. What do you do here? Well, we've prepared b5, so pawn to b5. C captures on b5, we have c captures on b5, and now you want to move the queen, so queen to c2, and now the rook no longer has all that much to do on the b file, so rook to c8, aligning the rook nicely with the queen here. Rook d to c1, and now comes bishop to b4. It seems like maybe you could have some tricks here, because the rook and queen are here. Let's say b4 attacks the knight. The problem is, after the knight moves, there is no discovery you can use. There's nothing you can capture, so it's it looks nice, but it doesn't really do all that much. So instead, bishop to b4. Now you have to be careful, and now just queen back to d1. We have knight to b6, and now knight to h2, preparing to shift the knight over to g4. We have b captures on a4, knight captures on a4, knight captures, b captures, and now queen to e7. Also developing the queen, connecting the rooks, knight to g4, and now comes knight to a8. And this is a big problem for black, and we have reached our position from the thumbnail. The problem is you have to move this knight, but not to a8. You have to move it over to e8, because from e8 the knight guards the f6 square. And now if white had some ideas of maybe sacrificing the bishop, let's say bishop captures on h6, you don't care. G captures, and the f6 square is nicely covered by the knight, so there will be no knight to f6 action. However, here knight to a8 was played, and even though it doesn't seem like the bishop can be sacrificed, because it just doesn't appear that there is enough compensation, there is a move that allows it, and that's really a thing of beauty. So here, bishop captures on h6. This is what Hari played, and since you already played knight to a8, it's kind of your obligation to take the bishop, otherwise you just have to admit that you missed this move completely. So g captures on h6, and now knight to f6 with check. You can see now if the knight was here, like we discussed, you could just capture this knight. Now you can't. The king is in check. King to g7, hoping that maybe you can play something like rook to h8, get the king back to f8, maybe survive the attack. But of course, Harikrishna will not allow this. Queen to g4 with check. King to h8, now comes queen to f4, threatening checkmate. Black repeats, king to g7, and now comes the move that, as we did say, it's a double bishop sacrifice. Bishop captures on d5. Now, it's really a weird move, and it doesn't immediately, scream why you should play this. And the thing is, you want to win the f5 square. If you win the f5 square, it is game over. Point being that after e captures on d5, you just play queen to g4 with check, and once the king moves, now you play queen to f5, which would be impossible if the pawn was on e6 guarding the f5 square, and there is no defense against queen to h7 checkmate. So black will have to give up the queen, but of course the position is completely winning for white. So after bishop captures on d5, bishop to d3 was played, trying to claim this diagonal, but now, all sorts of moves are winning here. Harikrishna plays the nicest variation, basically knight to h5 with check, king to h7, and now bishop to e4 with check. And it was in this position on move 30 that Dimitrios Mastrovasilis resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. So truly a spectacular game for Pentala Harikrishna, who plays this brilliantly. It's truly a gem of a game, and 30 moves on board one in the Olympiad. I mean, this is just incredible. And what a double bishop sacrifice. Okay, the second bishop sacrifice was not accepted, but it's lost regardless if you accept it or not. So really, really enjoyable. Just bishop captures on d5, incredible. Trying to win that f5 square. Here you resign because after the bishop, let's say bishop captures on e4, you're gonna capture this with check, and once the king, or you play, for example, f5, he captures on f6 en passant, then you win the queen and you win the game. And if king to h8, if after queen captures on e4 check, king to h8, you just play rook captures on c8, and then of course you play knight to f6, and again black cannot defend against this checkmate. You either have to give up the queen, which is completely winning for white, or you go here and then we just checkmate the black king this way. Now this is checkmate, this is checkmate, this is checkmate, so whatever you want to do, it's perfectly fine. Beautiful game. Only 30 moves after bishop to e4. Mastrovasilis resigned the game, and well, I enjoyed it immensely. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you have any of your own favorite games from round 3, do share. We will try to cover as many as possible. So use hashtag suggestion. It is the easiest way for me to check out your comments. Another great victory for A Team India. We'll see what happens in round 4. Will they be able to push like this all the way? And now I think we're gonna be starting to see some big clashes starting from tomorrow. That's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to wish a very happy birthday to Mitkens, happy 20th birthday to Mitkens, and I would like to thank Joshua Figueroa Lintag, Richard Nickerson, Alison Silva, and David Kimura for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing the coverage of the Olympiad until it finishes. So thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.